My karate belts. A big silky belt hanging, my purple silky belt. A white, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, black. Poom belt, Vinci belt, checkered belt, Master's red belt. My Spider-Man on top. My karate belts.
Alright, kids. This is Timothy Kerofsky from my Children's Time Lead section of the Timothy Kerofsky and Family channel. You see him in a purple Soki gi. Soki is somebody who creates their own system of the martial arts and has been recognized by a board of masters. And I thought I would wear this gi because I'm doing a lead about Mulan, who was a warrior. I know it's been a year, and I'll be back to doing some leads again. We are at a new location, and here we go. Here's the Mulan lead. Disney, Mulan. So it has these brand new books are kind of hard. It has a Mulan picture right there. Adapted by Gina Bigelow Leo. Drawings by Jose Cardona and painted by Don Williams. Like a powerful dragon, the Great Wall of China winds its way across the land. It protects the country's farmland and villages. Its family temples and the miles of bright green rice paddies. All along the wall, soldiers stand guard. They don't suspect the Great Barrier is about to be crossed by an army of Huns led by the ferocious Shan Yi. So here's a guard on the Great Wall of China. One afternoon, a young woman named Mulan sadly returned home from the village. Making a good marriage was the way a young Chinese woman brought honor to her family. But Mulan's meeting with the matchmaker that morning had ended in disaster. That's in the cartoon and how it ended in disaster. Her father, Ba Shou, sat with her with the kind, loving words. He assured his daughter that she, like the late blooming blossom that proves to be the most beautiful of all, would bring honor to the family in her own time. she's talking about the blossoms. Actually, we used to have a blossom tree at my old yard, at my old house. Boom! Boom! Suddenly, a loud drum summoned everyone out of their homes. The Huns have invaded China, the messenger announced. One man from every family must serve in the imperial army. When the Fa family was called, Fa Shou handed his cane to his wife and stepped forward. "No," cried Mulan. She knew her father was as brave as he had been in his youth, but he was no longer strong. He would never survive a war. So there's the messenger coming in, and then Mulan looking over as her father hands over the cane. It rained hard that night. Mulan went to the family temple, lit incense, and prayed to her ancestors. She made her decision. She would take her father's place. Mulan took Fa Shou's sword, cut her hair short. Then she put on armor. Disguised as a man, she rode her horse, Khan, into the storm. A tiny dragon named Mushu raced after her. He wanted to regain his position as a guardian of the Fa family. "I make Mulan a hero. That will show the ancestors," he said. A lucky cricket named Kriki hopped along beside him. Mulan wasn't sure what to think about Mushu and Kriki, but she knew she needed all the help she can get. And on my nose itches. Sorry, kids. I know I shouldn't be itching my nose. Yeah, this Mulan riding on the horse, and then Mulan and Kriki and Mushu the dragon, the little dragon. When Mulan reached the army camp, she reported to Captain Shang. Shang was the son of General Li, leader of the Emperor's army. It was Shang's job to train the new recruits to be great soldiers. "What's your name?" Shang asked. Mulan made up a boy's name, Ping. She stammered. "My name is Ping." The recruits had trouble with the training exercises. The most difficult test was retrieving an arrow from the top of a tall column. No recruit had been able to do it. Cleverly, Mulan figured out how to use strength and discipline to get the arrow. Everyone cheered. Okay, there's Mulan at the camp. She made up the boy's name Pig, and then she's on top of the column. She's on top of the column. Everybody's cheering. One evening, Mushu and Kriki overheard Chief Fu, the Emperor's aide, talking to Shang. "Your troops will never see battle," he said. "The guy is messing with my plan," said Mushu. "I think it's time we took this war into our own hands." Uh-oh. So Kriki and Mushu put on a clever disguise and delivered a note to Chief Fu. The note read, "You and your men are needed at the front at once." Uh-oh. Okay, so this Mushu, the shadows in the tent, that's the Emperor's men. And then that's him in his clever disguise. Shang set out immediately with his troops. Soon they came across a burnt out village that had been attacked by the Huns. "We must go to the imperial city," he said. "We are the only hope for the emperor now." The men trudged on. Suddenly, hundreds of flaming arrows flew at them. Shang Yu's Han army was charging toward Shang and his men. So Shang Yu's Han's army was charging. Uh-oh. "Fire the cannons!" said Shang. Soon only one cannon was left. Mulan looked up at the snowy peak and got an idea. She grabbed the last cannon and fired. The cannonball slammed into the mountain and shook the snow loose. An avalanche thundered down and swept the army away. So this evil Shang Yu and then the cannon that Mulan fired on the mountain. Mulan leapt onto a horse and raced across the snow to Shang, who lay unconscious. She lifted him into Kang's strong back. Kang skidded dangerously on a steep slope with the other soldiers helped for them to safety. When Shang came to, he noticed that Mulan had been wounded. She was taken to the medic's tent. Later, the army medic reported startling news. Fing was a woman. Serving in the army as a woman was a crime punishable by death. Uh-oh. Shang spared Mulan because she had saved him. "A life for a life," he said. The troops marched off, leaving Mulan behind, and Khan, Rishu, and Kriki. On the horse, Rishu. So there they are doing an impossible task, pulling the horse up on the mountain. And then he's saving Mulan's life for life. Mulan was about to head home in disgrace, but then she saw Shang Yu and 5 of his soldiers at the top of a cliff heading toward the imperial city. They were still alive. Mulan and Khan got off to the city. There she found Shang and told him that the Huns were on their way. Still feeling betrayed, Shang did not believe her. Later during the victory ceremony, Shang Yu captured the emperor. Mulan saw Shang frantically trying to break into the palace. "I've got an idea," she called. That's Mulan telling Shang about the men still being alive and attacking the palace, and this is Mulan with her idea. So let's see what the idea was. Mulan dressed her and her 3 soldier friends Yao, Ling, and Chien Po in women's clothes so that they could fool the Han guards. Shang followed them. They overpowered the guards. On the palace balcony, Shen Yu waved his sword at the emperor. "Bow to me," he demanded. At Mulan's signal, the rescuers stormed into the room. The emperor was taken to safety. Shen Yu was furious. He charged towards Mulan. Mulan rushed to Mushu and told him her plan. She sent him off with Kiki to the fireworks tower. Mulan ran through the palace, making sure Shen Yu was following her behind. Then she led him onto the rooftop. So there they are, just as women's clothes, and then she's on the rooftop, evil Shang following her. Uh-oh. Using her speed and strength, Mulan pinned Shang Yu's cloak to the roof with his own sword. Mushu arrived with a lit rocket and jumped away just as it crashed into the building. Kaboom! A spectacular fireworks explosion dazzled the city. Shan Yu was no more. Shan Yu. I want to share the picture. So there's Shan Yu. And he gets pinned by the sword. Uh-oh. And there's the rocket right up there on the top. Uh-oh. Mulan approached the emperor. "You have saved us all," he said, bowing to her. He asked Mulan to join the council, but Mulan chose to go home to her family. "You take this to your family. You'll know what you have done for me," he said as he placed the pendant around her neck. So he gave her a heroic pendant to wear to her family. That's a beautiful pendant. Now the last page. Soon Mulan was back home, enjoying a happy reunion with her family. When Shang arrived, he had realized that Mulan was a very special person indeed. Mushu was his guardian once more. Mulan had been brought honor to her family, the ancestors, and to all of China. There she is back home with her family. Wow. Kids, it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. You can find strength inside. And of course, she was fighting for China, in a particular dynasty, but we can all find some strength inside. We can all find some way to be helpful, to be heroic. Hero. I hope you enjoyed that first Mulan read. Next week will be I Am Mulan. This will be the second part of the children's line. I Am Mulan. Thank you for reading along with me the story of Mulan, the courageous, heroic warrior brought honor to the family.